thanks to the underground piped heating here at Goodison Park, the match goes ahead on a pitch where last February Aston Villa's Tony Morley scored the BBC's goal of the season. But Morley hasn't scored now for 12 games, and it's that sort of lean spell which has cost his colleague Gary Shaw his place in today's Villa lineup. Besides dropping Shaw, Ron Saunders also leaves out Gary Williams and Eamon Deasy, so Noel Blake at number 5 and Terry Bullivant at number 6 get their first league match for 2 seasons. And with Peter With still suspended, the front 2 players today are Terry Donovan and David Geddis. After losing to Ipswich in the League Cup, Everton make 5 changes. In goal, Neville Southall replaces Jim Arnold. At number 4, Mark Higgins is preferred to Mike Walsh. At number 7, Allan Evans makes his debut because Steve McMahon is injured. It's Peter Eastoe at number 10 for Alan Bailey and Paul Lodge at number 11 for Eamon O'Keefe. Neville Southall cost £150,000 from Bury last summer. He's 23, and so too is Allan Evans, who came in the close season as well from Queen's Park in Scotland. Indeed, Evans and Southall were the first 2 players Howard Kendall signed for Everton, and the manager himself today plays in the same team. Referee Colin Seel, who's just had a run around the pitch. It's actually very hard in one goalmouth and much softer in another, but it's a compliment to the Everton ground staff that the match goes ahead, and a vindication of the heating system, which is in fact the third that they've tried here at Goodison Park. The first 2 were not successful, but this one looks as though it's going to be. And it's Everton who play from the left in the first half, wearing the white shorts. Howard Kendall with the throw. Here's Stevens. Kendall. Referee spots the infringement there and gives Everton a free kick. And he came in on that. Hooked back in by Ross. That's Des Bremner with the overhead, and it was Sharp with the header. And there may well have been a player offside anyway. Eastoe being marked by Blake. Oh dear, Sharp's in. And here's Eastoe! Didn't get any power in his shot. And the chance went much to the relief of Noel Blake. Well, Blake's back pass intercepted by Sharp. Rimmer came well to meet him, but when the ball came back off the goalkeeper, Eastoe had an opportunity which perhaps with match sharpness he might have put away, but he's been out for a while and he didn't strike the ball well. Both teams beaten in midweek and each needing an injection of confidence at this stage of the season. That was Sharp for Everton, who've only won 1 of their last 6. Aston Villa lying 17th. Here's Eastoe, there's Lyons. Was he shoved? Penalty. Penalty to Everton, Lyons fouled. And Donovan has continued the protest for so long and so fiercely that I think he's in trouble. Lyons, who got up into the Aston Villa penalty area, he was shoved, and Donovan was so incensed by the referee's decision that he's going to be booked. Now, last season, at this same end, Trevor Ross scored from a penalty against Jimmy Rimmer. And that same little scenario between those 2 will take place once Donovan's booking has been recorded. Lyons, who gave a penalty away, curiously, in that corresponding match last season. So I wonder whether the battle of wits between Ross and Rimmer will bear fruit on either side. And Allan Evans has said something to the referee, and I think he wants a word with him now. Rimmer is shouting in. Villa's protests continue. Evans in trouble this time. And the Villa players would do well to go away because the referee's in no mood to prolong the argument. But it looks to me as though Des Bremner's name's going in now. Well, he's certainly spoken at length to Bremner as well. So Ross with the kick. And he misses it. Well, Donovan needn't have been so vociferous after all. Trevor Ross not striking it cleanly, he scuffed it rather wide of the post, although Rimmer anyway had gone in the right direction. So drama early on here. And that might produce one or two interesting moments from now on, I would think. There are one or two Villa players who are very unhappy about all that, but not with the net result, it might be said. Here's Kendall. Well played, Stevens. That header was by Cowans. There's Bullivant. Higgins came charging in, and Swain in the end went down the right wing, collected the ball from Donovan. It was his cross. Offside flag is up. Geddis in the centre, I think, was the man who was pulled up there. Well, Ron Saunders knows Goodison well. He was an Everton player. And I must say, between these two clubs, you always seem to get incident, and today, so far, no exception. Evans got one in the face as Eastoe jumped, but it's all Everton here. It's Irvine taking on Blake. Corner. As Eastoe went up with the ball there, Allan Evans got a bang in the face, which he's still recovering from. Indeed, maybe concussed. Hard life for a ball boy in weather like this. Lyons! Oh! It's in. Mick Lyons coming off the near post for the corner, taken by Lodge. Lyons got the flick header on it. It went beyond Rimmer. And there were two Everton players on hand to make absolutely sure it was in. 21 minutes gone. The Everton captain, the only ever present in the side this season, gets the telling touch there to make up perhaps for the missed penalty, which Ross won't feel so bad about now. Can Villa reply almost at once? Gordon Cowans to take the corner. Short to Bullivant. Cowans. There's Morley. Flags up here. An offside. Goal coming then at a good time for Everton, just when that early rush appeared to be lacking any true reward. Got it back well. Donovan's at the near post, and Southall holding on in a cluster of players. One of whom was Donovan. was a case of Lyons trying to shake off Donovan there. Aston Villa, without the power in the air of Peter With, have pushed Evans forward again, but it's been played short to Cowans. And this time Morley finds Bullivant in some space. Well, he had time to line that up. Goal kick. Swain. So at half-time, Everton leading by a goal which said much about Mike Lyons' presence in the penalty area at set pieces, and that made up for an early penalty miss by Trevor Ross, number 8. Those the two main incidents in the first half. Well, that's not the new Goodison Park dance. That's a way of keeping warm when the temperature is below freezing and you're standing on the terraces. There's one other way of watching football, and that's to sit in the opulent surroundings of the new executive boxes. And what a contrast between the people in there and those out in the cold. Everton fans hoping the Lions' goal might be an omen. His only other goal this season came here against West Brom, and Everton won 1-0. Kendall. This is Sharp. Irvin. Sharp again. Well played by Evans. Evans. Mistake by Swain. There's Bullivant. This is Irvin. It's got Sharp through the middle. Eastoe closer to him, number 10. Kendall. Stevens had pushed well forward also. Do like the look of Allan Irvin, I must say. He's got past Gibson there. Lyons in the box. Irvin again. Another decent cross. Lyons again. Well, it was a gamble putting him in today. Howard Kendall admitted that, but Allan Irvin came down from Scotland in the summer. Looks to have some potential on the right-hand side for Everton. Flags up offside. Irvin again. Sharp. Ross. And Ross goes on. And a good bit of play by Noel Blake. Nice 1-2 initially between Trevor Ross and Graham Sharp, putting Ross back in, but Blake made sure he never had the angle for the shot. It's a corner instead, to be taken by Lodge. Away by Donovan. Lodge again. nasty collision there. Sharp was the Everton player involved, and Donovan from Aston Villa. And when they talk about the qualities that are needed to win the English First Division, and Aston Villa know only too well after last season, courage comes pretty high up the list in conditions like this. Header by Lyons, one of the most courageous men you'll find around. That's an offside. In Britain, we take the physical side of the game for granted because it's on that so much of our play is based, but players prepared to give everything on a very tricky surface. Here's Blake. And here's Eastoe. And it's still Eastoe, and Evans trying to... Oh, he did. Allan Evans comes storming out with the ball. And here's Swain. Oh, now, an Everton player left on the ground there. The challenge was by Swain. And it looked late to me. Trevor Ross is the Everton player down. And the linesman will be asked by the referee what he thought about that. Well, it looked a late challenge to me from here, but very much a question of what the referee and linesman saw, or how they saw it. Just going back to that last incident, there was an amazing situation there where Blake made an error, which on another day would have been more heavily punished, but how well Allan Evans battled away to compensate. So Trevor Ross hobbles back into action. And a glance in the direction of Ken Swain. Bremner. Tackled by Lodge. Evans and Eastoe. And Eastoe wins it. Support arriving now in the centre. This is Lodge. Donovan. Morley out left. This is Bremner. And now it's Gibson for Aston Villa, still a goal down. Helped on by Cowans. And so, casually and yet effectively knocked back by Howard Kent. And Morley's header. And a free kick to Everton. Has made his customary way forward. It's aimed at Eastoe. Nice flick. Here's Lyons. It came off Evans. It's still free to Sharp. And again, the presence in the penalty area of the Everton captain sends the opposing defence into all sorts of disarray. Mick Lyons again causing problems. He didn't quite get his shot in there. When the ball came loose, Sharp certainly did, and it was just wide. On by Geddis to Donovan, and Bremner can shoot here. And those aren't easy for goalkeepers on this sort of pitch. Bremner, who got a couple against Nottingham Forest recently, and Neville Southall showing how to get the body as well as the hands behind the ball. Eastoe, Sharp, Eastoe! Oh, he's hit the bar! Sharp's coming in for the rebound, stopped by Swain, corner. But Eastoe, the man who got 18 goals last season and who Everton have missed so badly this year, hit that magnificently. It beat Rimmer, and it almost broke the crossbar. Swain beats Sharp on the jump for the rebound. But it was a spectacular effort, that. And Everton have a corner. Away by Blake, on by Bullivant. Ratcliffe, Kendall, Ratcliffe again. Irvine, nice turn. Pulled it back to Sharp, who couldn't make it. He might now. It's Kendall with the shot. Oh, foul surely there on Swain inside the area by Lyons, I fancy. Irvine again showing some fine skill in the build-up. But Eastow's power drive, one of the highlights of the afternoon. Swain. Here's Cowans for Villa. Geddis, Bullivant. Gibson, Morley. Oh. So the player manager with the throw. Looks for Eastow. Just a couple of minutes left now, with Everton leading 1-0. That was Gibson. This is Morley. Skipping his way past opponents and then giving the ball away. Wasn't really meant for Stevens, but it found him. Kendall. Cowans, Stevens. Miscue by Blake. Here's Irvine. There's nobody coming in on it, but it'll be retrieved by Lodge. Ross is well forward here, number 8. It came off him, and that was Eastow! Making the 3-point safe in virtually the last minute. The ball from Irvine on the right caused the trouble. Lodge retrieved it. Ross came through. It came back to Eastow, and his finishing was sure. A nice return for Peter Eastow. And it looks like being a return of 3 points for Everton today. Here's Swain. Cowans. And that was back by Ross, which will give Aston Villa a corner. Evans is well forward, but he's headed it the wrong way. Swain, safe enough. Lyons, here's Cowans. central characters in that Everton victory. One man who's played over 600 league games, the player-manager Howard Kendall, and one who played his first today, number 7 there, Allan Evans. But a compliment to Alan Story and his ground staff, the groundsman here at Goodison Park, for getting the pitch playable thanks to that piped heating. The conditions held up surprisingly well, and Aston Villa, the league champions, go into Christmas only 2 points ahead of the bottom 3. Everton 2, Aston Villa 0.